Joe and I are off to see Dr. Karen Morton this morning. Good morning!
Okay. Here we are today with Dr. Karen Morton from Dr. Morton's The Medical Helpline. Is that right, Karen?
Right, yes, that's absolutely
So we've come today to talk to Karen because we wanted to speak to a doctor about this critically important time for women. So we've got a few questions for Karen, and we hope that we're going to learn quite a lot today. I know. And can we talk about, so you said, let's get help. What help would you advise? You know, we've just said, oh, this is our approach would be diet, exercise, lifestyle. So can we talk about HRT? So, our mother's generation were taking it, and then the studies came along in the late 90s, early 2000s,
that was such a tragedy, you know.
Yeah.
Such a tragedy. The analysis of the women's health study in the United States was so poorly undertaken. That would be universally acknowledged now. And it was such a heterogeneous group of women that were analysed. It's heartbreaking to think that had such impact. I'm rather ashamed as a clinician, as a medic, that had such a bad impact, so unnecessary. So it is absolutely clear where the risks of hormone replacement therapy lie, and truthfully they are very, very minimal. Everything in life is a balance of risk. When you get in the car, you decide you want to go from A to B, and you hope you don't have an accident on the way. And it's not so dissimilar to that. So there are very few people who cannot take hormone replacement therapy. It may be a more complex decision for some. Of course, if someone has had a hormone-dependent breast cancer, then they, I'm sure, will not take hormone replacement therapy unless their life is completely ruined by sleeplessness and flushes and sweats. So I do see some women who are referred to me by their breast surgeon or their oncologist whose quality of life is so poor that they are at liberty to make that choice. It's not up to doctors to say, you can't do something. But at the very least, those ladies should consider using some estrogen into the vagina if vaginal dryness is the issue, because that's a local nutrient, really. One can't say that zero of the estrogen in the cream or pessary would get into the circulation, but it will be near enough zero. And so if you can't have sex with your partner, that's a very bad, destructive thing. And if it hurts, why would you want to do it? So there are even permutations for those ladies. But ladies who have, say, a family history, say their mother had breast cancer, that can be drilled down into more detail to understand whether it really is a risk. But of course, doctors or Hot Flush is not there to impose hormone replacement therapy on anybody. It's there to inform and allow people to make their own choice.
Which is what we were saying, after going through all of these layers, we said, and then there's always HRT. And it's going to be, and we've done our own little survey, and it's, I think 50% of the women that we spoke to said, I really wouldn't touch it.
But at this phase, they might not be suffering anything.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you touch it?
Yes,
it's just out there.
But I think there is still that stigma of the report.
Yes, there is.
Still is hanging over.
It hasn't got out into the general mindset of the public that the risks are really minimal. A little ironically, if you come to the menopause without your uterus, this isn't a reason for having your uterus removed, but if by chance you come to menopause having had your uterus removed because of fibroids or because of endometriosis or whatever it is, that means you can just take estrogen. If you still have a uterus, you have to have progesterone to protect the womb lining. But if you come to the menopause without your uterus, estrogen has no effect on breast. It doesn't increase the risk of breast cancer at all.
Yeah, I think the question with quite a few people that we know who are on HRT and they're taking it for various reasons is they've got no understanding of how long they're going to be on it for.
Yes, there's this idea that it's going to carry you past the time when you're going to have symptoms, carry you past the menopause. Just get those definitions clear, I think, actually. So the menopause is a single date in time. It's the date of the last period ever. When you look back, you say, I never had another period after January.
That's when you go through the party. Going forward, women will be having menopause parties.
So that's that. And then there is a whole length of time during which women will get symptoms of declining ovarian function, and then of course absent ovarian function. And you can call that the perimenopause if you like, and then you can call it the postmenopause if you like. But really it's that when people talk about taking HRT, they think if they take it for 5 years, then when they stop it, they won't have hot flushes. But the body will actually usually respond in exactly the same way as if it was the ovaries that were stopping working. So it's not going to carry you past. Yes, yes. So you should anticipate when you stop it, whether you wean yourself off it or stop it immediately, probably those hot flushes and sweats will return. And the evidence is now clear that there is no reason for telling women you can only take it for 5 years.
Interesting.
No reason at all.
And when you're taking it, do you have checkups? So do you have regular checkups to see your GP? Or
There's no reason why you would have checkups any more often than anybody else should have health checks.
Right.
Because it doesn't increase your risk of high blood pressure. It's natural estrogen. It's not synthetic estrogen like in the contraceptive pill, which can cause a rise in blood pressure. But everybody should have their blood pressure checked.
Yes. Yeah.
But most people, of course, can have that done at the gym. Or
Yes.
they can walk into Boots and put their arm through somewhere and through a hole and have their blood pressure taken. We should be far more proactive about getting basic information from our Fitbits or our gym
apps
or
and
I
whatever.
think as a nation, we just don't know very much about our health.
Yes.
And I think that's why women arrive at the menopause completely nonplussed, because we don't have that relationship with the gynaecologist. I believe in the USA, you go to your...
Not just in the USA,
but
but
in Europe as well.
in
You
Europe,
go and you
definitely.
will have your gynaecologist.
Yes.
It's like, well, you don't have a bit. We have, in this country, we have a GP practice with a nurse attached.
Yes,
and
who do your smear
nail,
tests.
Yes. And other than that, as individual, I just think we're coming to a time where we have to be informed and we have to
take control.
Take control. And
Have to take
really
control.
good tip about
That
getting
applies,
your blood pressure
I think,
checked
across
at
the board for health in
Totally,
this country at the moment. I don't like to say that the NHS is drowning, because I support the NHS and work in the NHS and think it's fantastic. But we need to save it for really important things. We need to be responsible for our day-to-day health.
And I think everything that we're saying on hot flush can only really benefit your health. Thank you, Karen. Dr. Karen from, I'm going to say it correctly, Dr. Morton's the medical helpline.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
And we'd love to, my gynaecologists would love to be of help to your visitors.
Great. We
Thank you.
on site.
Thank you.
Thank you.